Guys, what is up? This is Mike,
This is Alex,
and this is Cake and Race.
and we are bringing people together through awkward conversations.
So, this is our second episode.
Second
now,
episode.
and this is a very interesting episode. And we tried talking about this before.
Yes, yes.
But this is one of the failed pilot episodes that never made do the sound.
It failed, yeah, because of sound. Let's
Only-
make this sure. It was a really good one, so we decided we have to do it again. We have to try it again.
I really like the topic for that one.
Yes. And this topic is yellow fever. Well, not exactly yellow fever, but
Just
don't say yellow fever.
It's just like the
That's the
idea
title.
of fever.
Fever is really bad. So we'll start in Asia because that's where we're at. And we both have dated someone who was Asian, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of like came to my mind once because people try to use "you have yellow fever" as an insult against us, right? They're like, "Oh, so you're in Korea, so
Yeah.
you got the yellow fever, right?"
Right.
You
Well, I
know,
mean, that's
you
what they
don't
say.
say right.
No, that's what they say. But that's what they say, right? I agree. That is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they say. But
Yeah.
no, I'm not in Korea because I have the yellow fever.
Right,
I'm
right.
not in Korea because I want to date someone who is yellow
Right.
or
Which
Asian, which
in
is
itself is bad using the term yellow.
exactly.
But I think what got me wasn't that it was yellow fever exactly. It was something that's a little more subtle than that. And this insult against me is really insulting to Asian people.
Yeah.
Because if you have a yellow fever, that implies that you wouldn't want to date them normally. You wouldn't
No.
want to go out with them normally.
No.
There's something wrong with you to want to date them. And I think that's what kind of that's insulting to a lot of my friends.
Let's take it a step further. If you have the fever, that insists that you are in a phase
Right.
in your life where right now that's what you're into, like it's a trend.
Yeah.
Or like it's a hobby, and then but you'll grow out of it one day, and you'll switch back to what you're supposed to. By the way, eat the cake. And, so, and you'll switch back to what you're supposed to be with, or what you're supposed to, date or
It's saying
or
you should
marry.
be back with your own kind.
Right.
Because let's not forget, it's not just yellow fever. There's another one.
Oh gosh,
I hate this word is
this one gets me. Jungle fever.
jungle fever.
Jungle fever. And I remember hearing that, when I was younger, and I thought it was funny. But but after I got older, and I really understood just more about it, I mean, it's ridiculous.
So you've got the implication that you shouldn't normally want to date someone black. Jungle fever. Okay, it also says black people come from the jungle in a way.
Yeah, I say let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, and then jungle
No.
fever put together, like just if you're talking about nothing racial at all, jungle fever sounds like something really bad or dangerous that you would get from the jungle. Like
Yeah.
it's like could kill you or something.
Yeah,
There's a lot wrong with that.
and then just historically, black people have been referred to as like monkeys, gorillas, all this other stuff. right?
Historically, yeah, it's still to this day.
Yeah, like when people want to insult it, I mean, then they stoop to those kind of lows and call people that, which I don't know. So yeah, hearing the term jungle fever is extremely insulting. So I can imagine, just for an East Asian man, woman, to hear the term like yellow fever, that's got to be extremely insulting.
My boyfriend only loves me because he has a fetish temporarily.
Basically.
Ah, that's rough. And it doesn't go all over. What would it be for like white? You have the white plight. Like, what? It doesn't even sound insulting.
White?
The marshmallow jello. I don't know. I'm not sure how to like. You're not?
Caucasian phase. I was like the Caucasian phase. I don't know. Like
Caucasian face.
I don't know.
The European dreaming. Oh, that's just weird. I don't even know. But like, look, the point of it. We should stop embarrassing us. See, it's awkward. The point of it is a little more that it does also put people into different castes. I don't know if caste is the right word, but if
I
there's
can see
nothing
that.
for white people, then that means it's fine. You're allowed to like a white person, regardless. There's
yeah.
no phase or whatever. You might get some heat, like, oh, you're marrying up or some like other insulting way,
Yeah.
but it's not seen as wrong. Whereas if you throw in the word fever, it's wrong, or it's a phase, or it's temporary, or it's not good.
No, it's not.
No, I don't.
No,
I have nothing to go off. Yeah, after that, I think that's just
Yeah.
kind of that's the conclusion.
Yeah, and I know, and I've never heard any other fevers, but the thing is that the ideal is out, or that idea is out there, you know, whereas like you're in a phase because of, or you're dating this person because of the phase that you're in.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I stand on that. And so this video is also kind of to our friends at home too, like kind of think about what you're saying when you're insulting me, because I'm not insulted by it as much. I'll admit, recently I've dated only Koreans because I'm in Korea and that's who I hang out with.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
But it's insulting to the Koreans I'm dating, which then hurts me because you're insulting the person that I love or care for as well. So if you're trying to be good friends to us, don't say it to us because it insults someone we care about.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to be respectful to culture, don't say it because you're insulting them. Whether it's yellow fever, jungle fever, or I'm sure there's something horrible people say about Mexicans in the United States. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah. My actual girlfriend would not have dated me if I did have yellow fever, if I showed...
Oh, yeah. By the way...
the tendency of just wanting to date an Asian because she was Asian.
There's our little bonus. If you're not Asian and you say to an Asian girl, like, hey, I kind of like Asian girls, that doesn't work either. If you do actually have a tendency to like Asians and think that's like a pickup line,
you just shot yourself down. You're done.
You deserve not to date that person.
You're done. I mean, especially, if we're honest, without being super honest, but just being honest, there are a lot of, I won't say foreign teachers because there's not just teachers, but just like foreigners here that it's just one of their goals to just,
it's a weird one,
meet, hook up, that whole thing, and it's frustrating because you do have some people out here who are legitimately wanting to meet people, become friends, or eventually be more than friends, like in a legitimate way.
Yeah, you're surrounded by more Koreans, and if your job is just to, not your job, but you are at the stage in life where you're thinking about marriage, there are people who are just like, well, this is a Korean friend of mine, she's pretty, I like her, or vice versa. Sorry, him, could be him. Anyway, a lot to think about. I think that's a pretty good wrap up. We want to know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Have you experienced it? Let us know in the comments section. And of course, keep coming back for more.
Make sure you like and subscribe to the video.
Yep.
And I think you should share it as well. People kind of need to hear these type of things. People need to engage in these conversations. And I think a lot of times, a lot of people want to run from these conversations.
And I think we're going to get to some conversations that are going to make me really awkward. But I think these awkward conversations are a good starting point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah.
I have never done this.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm definitely wanting to talk about this. So with that being said, I'm Mike.
I'm Alex.
And y'all be cool. Peace.
Cake and race.
Cake and race.